and welcome to Rambling on Music, a place with musical discourses for musical minds. I'm Holly Q, and this is a part 1 of a 3-part series documenting my experiences at the very first ever David Bowie World Fan Convention here in Liverpool. Welcome to Rambling on Music, a place with musical discourses for musical minds. I'm Holly Q, and today I am so excited. I've been waiting for this weekend for months. I've been planning, strategizing, articulating a little bit more than usual. I've had my Bowie nails done. I have my favorite Bowie shirt from a good friend of mine named Jen. I'm wearing my Bowie backpack, and yes, I am wearing my Bowie shoes. Why? Because it is the very first ever David Bowie World Fan Convention. I'm so excited. The who's who of David Bowie artists, musicians, photographers, people that have worked with him, digital media, they are all here in Liverpool. How cool is that? So, let's go. It's a long trek. Liverpool, I love you, but good lord, your streets, they're like 45-degree angle, so I'm gonna be dying when I get to the top of the street. So let's skip that horribly embarrassing part, and I'll show you when we get there. Bye. Well, here we are. We're at the Mountford Hall, which is a part of the University of Liverpool. We are hosting. Let's line up to get in. Did you know the mission? We're skipping ahead because we're VIP. There we go. Let's go inside.
To grow, especially not being able to read music, and how I usually learn when I get a job, someone gives me the record. I listen to the record and I figure it out. All of the songs that we did on the outside tour were in a different key. When you change the key, I can't learn it from the record, but I have to learn the original key, and then I have to figure it out in my own, I have my own kind of strange system of figuring out the patterns on the neck of the bass. And then there are times when the key gets changed in the middle of rehearsal. And those are the moments when I feel that most insecure, and I'm like, I'm not as good as Carlos, I'm not as good as Reeves, I don't know how to do that in my head, you know. But all of that, what was wonderful about David was I think he knew that. He knew I was self-taught.
Yeah, probably had to play in Detroit. And I thought, oh, this is great for John Bonham type bit, you know. So I'd been working that out on the road. We got into the studio in America. And it started down, 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 down. I did a Bonham thing and whoa, what are you doing? It's a beat I've worked out, I think it'd be really cool. Like, no, I just want to Bo Diddley's beat. I was like, you know, I started off. And I said, no, I've worked out some really good fills to do, you know, when you do that, I can do that. No, do Bo Diddley. So we started it again and I was like, fucking hell, this is really good.
Some artists, not having the restrictions of a corporate kind of contract, will have the options of saying, if you do this for me, I'm also going to give you some stuff as well. It's almost metaphysical.
So my business partner at the time, Bob Goodell, I wanted to do a throw out to him. He's no longer with us, but great guy, very innovative. He used to run Alomar back in the day. Bob and I came up with this idea about fan clubs. And believe it or not, the genesis started with the Beatles because back in the day, my mom was part of the Beatles fan club. So we started thinking, okay, Bob and I started thinking, and the Monkees. But anyway, so we started thinking, what can we do on the internet, this thing called the internet in the mid-90s, and nobody else was doing it. And we came up with this fan club idea. So Ultra Star as a company started as a fan club, where people could come in, pay us a fee, get into the fan club, but also do, you know,
they could do something about something instead of complaining. There's a lot of heavy stuff in that lyric. So yes, you'll be heroes for one day, if you rise to the challenge. This is not an illusion of possibilities. This is the reality of your development in life. We can be heroes just for one day is exactly that. You must overcome. You must do it. You've got to try. You've got to overcome. Being by the Berlin Wall was essential for us to feel that this song had meaning, that this song could be an anthem. That this song can represent the past, the future, and the ability for us to have a human resilience that can actually have a human revolution. The ability for us to morph into a being that's greater than the one that we were when we got here, that's a hero, not to anyone else, but to yourself. Why don't you claim being a hero and rescue yourself? And you can be that hero just for one day. And that's my interpretation. Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. The Bowie Convention has just finished for today, the very first day in a 3-day series. I got to meet Gail today, and she was so awesome. Turns out she's got a lot of friends in Toronto, and she first saw the David Bowie Is exhibit when it debuted in Toronto, rather than when it was in New York and Victoria and Albert Museum. It was Toronto that she saw it in, so that made my day. I found out that her favorite band was Queen, and I got to ask her if she's ever met any of the guys, and she said she met Roger and Brian, and they were brilliant. Such a nice lady, down to earth, and I was amazed to find out that she's not musically trained. She can't read music, she doesn't do chords, she has her own unique way of figuring out music in her head, so even something like a key change takes her a minute to have to figure out. So gosh, I'd love to just like sit down and hear how she perceives and is able to play music. I was really impressed by that. And then I met Woody, and Woody was great. He was so funny in his interview. I learned lots of really cool things. He ended up playing at the Cavern, which is pretty exciting, and I got him to sign my book, so I'm buzzing, as it were. So that's finished for today. We also got to hear Carlos, the amazing guitarist, and his wife Robin Clark. Amazing down-to-earth people. Learned a lot from that session, and thankfully they're here again tomorrow. So I can't wait to learn more about their experiences in the music business, not just with Bowie, but with, gosh, the plethora of people that they have worked with. So that's all good news. So now I'm on my way to the British Music Experience. There's going to be a VIP pre-drinks type of party, and apparently there's going to be a bit of a statue unveiling. So let's head there now, into the wind, on the infamous Canada Boulevard. We all know that's my favorite street in Liverpool. And, fun fact, just last Thursday, I believe, Mick Jagger was at this very spot, down there. So, he's obviously a fan of the Canadians too. But it's really windy, so let's get to the building. I'm now standing outside of the British Music Experience, which is in the Connaught building right here. This beautiful old-fashioned building where it's going to be a VIP drinks party, and later on we're going to be followed by a trip up to Jimmy's to see some live music. So let's go in and see what it's all about. So I have made it across town once again to Jimmy's, and as you can see, there's a lineup outside the door. So let's see if we can get in and have a look around and see what's going on. Well, Jimmy's was a lot of fun, and it's one of those places I've always wanted to go because it has really cool music memorabilia in it. Not memorabilia per se, but musical homage, shall we say. And lots of really cool lights, so I'm glad I finally went in there. And it was nice to hear a band like the London Boys because they were doing the classic, almost pre-fame Bowie with his early career 60s stuff. So stuff like Love You Till Tuesday, it's great to hear those songs. So that's still going on, but I've left there because there's one more place that's doing some Bowie celebrations. It's called Space. It's at Liquids. Never been. So it's gonna be another adventure, but apparently they're doing a Bowie disco, so let's check it out. Okay, so I found Space by Liquid, but it was quite hard to find because it's literally just this sign, so oh my gosh, and they're taking the sign away. Oh. Okay, let's go upstairs and hope it's the right place. Well, that was cool and all, but to be honest, I think I'm a bit too pooped to participate. I'm tired. I'm not gonna say I'm getting too old for this stuff, but it's on the verge, I reckon. But to be fair, there's 2 more days of this excitement that I have to save my energy up for, and of course, this Bowie ball, which I have all of the highest expectations for. So that is going to be the end for me. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to take a nice 20-minute walk all the way down on the front back to my tube station or train station and go to bed, get up early, and do it all again tomorrow. So thank you for watching this part 1 of a 3-part series of the David Bowie first ever, oh look, it's getting emotional, David Bowie first ever World Fan Convention here in Liverpool. So I shall bid thee a good night and see thee on the morrow. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of a 3-part series documenting my experiences at the first ever David Bowie World Fan Convention here in Liverpool. Day 2 is just as exciting, just as many people. I hope you enjoy it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Share it on all social media platforms. We have a website, Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram account as well. And I'll see you in the next video.